Okay, imagine this, right? You're running a small business. You find yourself at some busy industry event, maybe a tech expo,
Yeah.
and you get chatting with a university researcher, and boom, instant connection. You're talking about some amazing new material or maybe a revolutionary AI thing or, a brilliant sustainability approach.
hmm
You can just see how it could transform your business, maybe even the whole sector. The ideas are flowing, big promises get made. You're dreaming big about what could
It
happen.
sounds fantastic.
Totally. But then, fast forward maybe 6 months, that amazing plan has just, well, it's sort of fizzled out quietly.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And here's the interesting part. It's usually not because the tech didn't work or because you lacked vision. It's often something much more basic.
Right.
A lot of companies, especially the smaller ones, the SMEs, they get that university partnerships are valuable. They see the potential, but they really underestimate the sheer amount of preparation needed to actually make it work.
They jump in too soon sometimes.
Exactly. And this exact challenge is what a recent study really dug into. It's by Marty Louise Verrain and her colleagues.
Yes.
The paper is called University Business Collaboration, a Collaboration Readiness Index and Scale, and it came out in Research Policy this year, 2025.
It's a really useful piece of work.
It really is. So our mission for this deep dive is basically to unpack their tool, very practical, evidence-based, called the Collaboration Readiness Index, or CRI.
It's the CRI, yeah.
And this index helps organizations figure out, where they really stand on being ready. And crucially, it maps out the steps you need to take before you actually commit to a big project.
It provides that roadmap.
Yeah. So today we're going to look at collaboration not just as this one big jump, but more like a journey. We'll identify the key building blocks for being ready and really get into why this matters not just for businesses like yours, but for the universities too, and even the policymakers.
Absolutely. That familiar scene you painted, the start, the promises, then the fade. This study really highlights that this happens because often neither side was truly ready for what deep collaboration actually involves. Many firms get the idea of the value, but they miss the foundational work needed beforehand.
The groundwork.
Precisely. And that's where the CRI is so insightful.
So to help companies figure this out, the CRI frames collaboration as like a progression, a journey through different stages.
Exactly right. It lays it out as 5 stages. Stage 1 is considering.
Okay.
At this point, collaboration is pretty much just an idea floating around. There's no real commitment, no resources set aside. Leadership might be vaguely interested, but it's minimal. And you definitely won't find any supporting structures internally for partnerships yet.
So just thinking about it.
Pretty much like standing at the bottom of the mountain, just looking up.
Got it. What's next?
Then you move into networking. This is where businesses start actively going to events, meeting researchers, maybe sharing some basic info about what they do and what they need.
Okay, more active.
Yeah, interest is building, definitely, but you're still exploring, not really talking specific projects yet. More like mapping out possible trails up that mountain.
Makes sense, then.
After that comes cooperating. This is often the first real practical test, like dipping a toe in the water.
How so?
We're talking small pilot projects, maybe feasibility studies or short contained trials. The key is they're designed to be low risk.
Ah, okay.
And they're mostly focused on learning how to work together, understanding the university's rhythm, seeing how the teams actually click.
Like that artisan bakery example you mentioned before,
Yeah.
testing new packaging.
Exactly like that. A small bakery trying out a new biodegradable material with a uni lab. The pilot might just be a limited run of loaves using it. Low risk, loads of learning, and if it works, you know the next step.
Right. And if that goes well, you move up.
You move into engaging. This is where the relationship gets serious. It becomes formal.
Okay, paperwork time.
You got it. Contracts, detailed project plans, figuring out shared workflows. This is where the commitments become real. So rubber hits the road.
And the final stage.
That's partnering. At this level, collaboration isn't just a one-off project anymore. It's ongoing.
Ah, a real relationship.
Exactly. Trust is really strong. Communication flows easily, and the projects are strategically aligned. Both sides see mutual long-term benefits. It's a truly integrated thing where everyone's deeply invested in succeeding together.
Okay, 5 stages. But here's something interesting you pointed out from the study. It's not always a straight lineup, is it?
That's a really crucial nuance. The progression isn't strictly linear. A company could absolutely find itself moving, say, from engaging back down to networking.
Why would that happen?
Could be anything, really. a major leadership change, maybe new budget cuts come down, priorities shift.
Right.
So the real value of the CRI isn't just showing a ladder to climb, it's demonstrating that readiness is built step by step through actions that fit where you are right now.
It's about self-awareness, knowing your current stage.
Precisely. And to move effectively through those stages, the CRI looks at 5 core capabilities. Think of them as the essential building blocks you need for collaboration to work.
Okay, what are they?
First up is leadership commitment. And this means clear, active support from the top, senior leaders involved.
Not just saying they support it.
Exactly. It's easy for leaders to give lip service. But without actual resources, real budget, dedicated staff, protected time for people to work on it, that commitment is pretty hollow. The project just becomes this sort of side thing nobody really owns.
Okay, leadership commitment. What's second?
Second is business resources and skills. This isn't just about having smart technical people, though that helps.
Right.
It means having enough staff overall, the right kind of internal expertise, and crucially, the administrative capacity to actually manage the collaboration effectively. Can your team handle the extra workload, or is it just going to pull them away from core business?
Good point. Admin capacity is often overlooked. Number 3.
Number 3, systems and processors. You need clear, established ways of doing things. Think contracts, managing intellectual property, IP, tracking the project properly, clear communication channels.
Ah, the operational stuff.
Yeah, and it's vital. I've seen promising projects just stumble and fall because the company's internal systems couldn't handle the university's processes, or vice versa.
It's not just about lawsuits over IP then.
Not at all. Often it's just the fear of IP issues, or the sheer time it takes to hammer out legal agreements that can just kill the momentum, even if the tech itself is amazing.
Okay, systems and processes. What's 4?
Fourth is knowledge sharing.
Yeah.
This has 2 sides. One is a genuine willingness to share relevant information with your university partner.
Trust, basically.
Yeah, building that trust.
Yeah.
And the other side is having the capacity within your own company to actually absorb and then use the external knowledge you gain from the university. Are you actually set up to learn and apply it?
So it's not just about getting the info, but using it.
Exactly. And finally, number 5 is outcome orientation, meaning you need a shared, clear definition of what success looks like right from the start. You need to figure out an equitable way to share the benefits. And you should already be thinking about how you might continue working together down the line.
Looking beyond just this one project.
Right. It's about the bigger picture, the long-term relationship.
Wow. Okay. 5 building blocks. And you're saying a weakness in just one of these can cause problems.
Absolutely. It can significantly slow things down or even derail the whole collaboration, even if you're strong in the other 4 areas.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about a company with amazing technical talent, brilliant engineers, super innovative, but maybe they lack the proper legal processes for sorting out IP agreements smoothly.
Ah, so the tech talent gets stuck?
Right. The talent can't be fully put to work. Or, flip side, you could have the most amazing, robust project management systems in the world. Charts, trackers, everything.
Sounds organized.
Totally. But if there's no real champion for the project in senior leadership, if that commitment isn't there, those great systems don't mean much. They're just paperwork.
That really drives the point home. So let's talk about why this readiness really matters, especially for SMEs, the small and medium businesses.
For SMEs, thinking about readiness isn't just, some academic exercise. It's a practical safeguard. It protects them.
How so? What's the biggest risk if they ignore it?
I think the biggest misconception SMEs often have is that their passion and a good idea are enough to make a university partnership work.
Yeah, enthusiasm is high at the start.
Right. But jumping into a really complex, high-commitment project, when you're not actually ready internally, maybe you're still at the considering or networking stage, that can lead to a huge waste of precious resources, time, money, people's effort.
And potentially damage the relationship, too.
Absolutely. It can sour things with the university, making future collaboration harder. The CRI basically acts like an honest mirror. It helps a company see if they should really be focusing on just exploring options right now, or if they genuinely have the capacity for a deep, long-term research partnership.
So it aligns ambition with capability.
Perfectly put. If you find you're in that considering stage, your main job should be learning how universities tick, finding out where your interests might overlap. It's foundational work.
Okay.
But if you assess yourself and you're clearly at the engaging stage, That's the time to really focus on formalizing your internal processes, maybe getting standard contract templates sorted, and actively building a pipeline of potential projects. It's about scaling up internally.
Got it. And this isn't just a tool for businesses, right? You mentioned universities benefit too.
Oh, definitely. Universities that are keen to do more work with industry can get really frustrated if they don't consider the readiness level of the companies they're talking to.
How does that play out?
Well, imagine trying to match a company that's really only at stage 2, networking, with a super complex, multi-year research project that needs deep engagement.
Yeah, sounds like a mismatch.
It rarely works well for either side. The company feels overwhelmed, the researchers get frustrated. But if the university uses something like the CRI, they can tailor their approach.
Tailor how?
Maybe they offer shorter consultancy-type projects or feasibility studies to those firms that are earlier on the readiness scale, get them started, build capacity, and then they reserve the bigger, more involved research collaborations for companies that clearly demonstrate they have the internal structures and commitment needed, those at the engaging or partnering stage.
So smarter matchmaking.
Exactly. It leads to more productive relationships for everyone.
And what about policymakers or funding bodies? How does readiness fit into their world?
Readiness is a really powerful lever for them to make more strategic investments. It shifts the focus a bit
From what to what?
from just funding individual projects, which is important, of course, to also supporting the development of the capabilities that help companies actually move up that readiness ladder.
Okay, so investing in the readiness itself, that sounds systematic, but I wonder, for a busy small business owner, does thinking about this readiness index just add more bureaucracy? Is it another hoop to jump through?
That's a really fair question. And it's exactly why the CRI is designed more as a diagnostic tool, a guide for conversation, rather than some rigid checklist or, a bureaucratic hurdle.
So how would policymakers use it practically?
Understanding readiness allows them to offer more targeted support. Instead of just grants for projects, they might back initiatives like, say, skills training specifically for managing collaborations, or provide help with navigating contracts and IP maybe subsidized advisory services.
Ah, building the underlying capacity.
Precisely. They're investing in the infrastructure of collaboration itself. And think about measurement tracking how companies' readiness levels change over time. Gives a much richer, more dynamic picture of how healthy the whole innovation ecosystem is, compared to just counting patents or R&D spend. It shows actual growth in collaborative potential.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, we should mention the context, right? This CRI was developed using Australian SME data.
That's right. It was designed using data from Australian SMEs and then validated with a second data set, which makes the findings pretty robust. But yes, like any tool like this, it is context dependent.
So it might look slightly different elsewhere.
Indeed. Things like cultural norms around collaboration, different national laws about IP or contracts, even just common practices within specific industries, all these things will shape how readiness actually looks and feels on the ground in different places.
So use it as a guide, not gospel.
Exactly. It should be a tool to spark conversations, for self-reflection, for strategic planning, definitely not some rigid gatekeeper that says you can't collaborate.
Yeah. Okay. So bringing this all together for our listeners, what's the big takeaway here? If you're in a business thinking about university collaboration.
I think the biggest lesson, the core insight from this work, is that successful collaboration isn't just about finding the perfect university partner. That's important, sure. But it's fundamentally about becoming the right partner yourself.
It starts internally.
It really does. It means getting your leadership genuinely aligned and committed. It means building those reliable systems and processes we talked about, the contracts, the IP management.
Right.
It means fostering a culture inside your company that's open to learning and sharing knowledge. And it means always trying to look beyond the quick win of the current project to the potential for long-term strategic impact.
So for businesses listening who aspire to work more with universities, the CRI sounds like it offers a really clear, actionable way forward.
It really does. It gives you that roadmap. And the key message isn't that you have to start perfectly ready at stage 5. That's usually unrealistic.
Yeah, nobody starts there.
Right. It's about, honestly, figuring out where you are now. Identifying maybe the weakest link in those 5 capabilities for your current stage, and then focusing on addressing that and progressing steadily, step by step.
Making intentional progress.
Exactly, because when you build that genuine readiness, those exciting initial conversations, the ones that so often fizzle out, have a much, much better chance of evolving into strong, lasting partnerships.
Partnerships that deliver real shared value.
Real shared value for your organization, for the university, and potentially for the wider economy, too, year after year. It's about turning potential into reality.